Arthur woke up with a big smile. Today was a very special day. It was the day for the family picnic. He loved picnics more than anything.
We're going on a picnic. Hooray, hooray!
DW was already awake and singing. Pal, their little dog, wagged his tail. He knew something fun was happening. He barked happily at Arthur's feet. Mom and Dad were in the kitchen. They were packing the picnic basket. Arthur saw yummy sandwiches. He saw red apples and cookies, too.
Dolls don't eat sandwiches, DW.
DW wanted to help pack. She tried to put her doll in the basket. Arthur giggled a little bit. He helped put the juice boxes inside. The basket looked full and delicious. Soon, everything was ready for the trip. The big blue picnic blanket was folded. Dad put the basket in the car. Arthur grabbed his favorite baseball glove. Maybe they could play catch at the park.
I am the picnic princess.
DW brought her special tiara. Pal jumped into the back seat. He was ready for an adventure. Everyone was excited to go. Dad started the car with a vroom. Arthur watched the houses go by. He couldn't wait to reach Sunny Meadow Park. They drove along the happy road. Arthur pointed out a fluffy white cloud. It looked just like a giant rabbit. DW saw a cloud shaped like ice cream.
I hope we have ice cream later.
Dad chuckled and kept on driving. The park was not too far now. Pal had his head out the window. He sniffed all the interesting smells. Everything seemed perfectly fine and dandy. But then, something started to change. The fluffy white clouds turned gray. The sky got darker and darker. Arthur felt a little worried.
Is it going to rain, Dad?
It looks like it might.
A little drop of rain hit the windshield. Then another, and another, much faster. The sunny day was quickly disappearing. Suddenly, the rain poured down hard. It made a loud noise on the car roof. Tap, tap, tappity tap. It went. Dad turned on the windshield wipers. Swish, swish, swash, they moved. But the rain was coming down so fast, it was very hard to see the road.
Wow, this is a big storm.
She was a little scared, but also excited. Arthur hoped they would find the park soon. The car bumped along the muddy road. It was not the smooth road to the park. This road had many puddles. Splash! Went the car through a big one. DW giggled, then held on tight. Arthur looked out the window worriedly. He did not recognize this place at all.
Are we very lost, Dad?
I think so, Arthur.
Then they heard a strange sound. It was a loud, angry buzzing noise. Bzzz! It grew louder and louder.
What is that sound?
I think it's bees.
A big swarm of bees flew near the car. They looked like a buzzing, flying cloud. The bees seemed very, very cross. Maybe the storm had upset their hive. The bees started to bump against the windows. Dad yelped and swerved the car. He tried to get away from the bees. The car went off the bumpy road. It went onto some spiky bushes. Pop, hiss, went one tire. Then pop, hiss, went another tire.
Oh no, we have 2 flat tires now.
The car stopped with a lurch. They were stuck in the middle of nowhere. The rain was still falling down hard. Arthur felt a shiver run down his spine. The building was very, very big. It looked like an old, spooky castle. It had tall towers and dark windows. A big, heavy wooden door stood at the front.
Maybe we can ask for help there.
He sounded hopeful, but a little nervous too. Arthur thought it looked a bit scary, like something from a monster movie.
I don't want to go in.
She whispered, hiding behind Arthur's seat. They all got out of the car. They used an umbrella to stay dry. Pal stayed close to Arthur's legs. They walked slowly towards the castle. The path was made of old, cracked stones. Weeds grew everywhere around them. An owl hooted from a nearby tree. Hoo-hoo! It sounded eerie in the rain. Arthur held his breath as Dad knocked. Knock, knock, knock on the giant door. The door made a loud creaking sound. Creak! It opened very slowly. A tall figure stood in the doorway. It was dark inside the castle. Arthur could not see who it was at first. Then 2 little lights glowed. They looked like tiny red eyes.
Welcome to my humble home.
The inside of the castle was huge. It was also very dark and dusty. Cobwebs hung from the high ceilings. They looked like spooky gray decorations. Candles flickered in holders on the wall. They made long, dancing shadows.
Arthur, this is not like our house at all.
Arthur looked around with wide eyes. DW peeked out from behind Dad. She was still a little bit scared. The figure who looked like Arthur smiled.
My name is Count Arthurilla.
He bowed very politely to them.
And this is my castle, Castle Reed.
Castle Reed? That's a funny name.
Count Arthurilla looked friendly, even with fangs.
You must be cold and wet. Please, come to the sitting room.
He led them down a long hallway. Their footsteps echoed on the stone floor. As they walked, they heard strange sounds. Drip, drop, drip, drop. Water was leaking. Somewhere a door creaked open and shut. Squeak, bang. It was very mysterious. Arthur shivered, but not from the cold. Then they saw someone else. It was a very tall man with green skin. He had bolts on his neck. He looked just like Mr. Ratburn. But he was dressed as Frankenstein's monster. Mr. Ratburn, or rather, Mr. Franken Ratburn, grunted.
Greetings.
He mumbled slowly. Count Arthurla chuckled.
That's just Frank. He helps around the castle grounds.
Then other familiar faces appeared. Buster looked like a friendly werewolf. Muffy was a glamorous mummy. Francine was a witch with a pointy hat. They all smiled spooky, but kind smiles.
Welcome to our home. Father, we have guests.
The big vampire smiled a wide smile.
Wonderful. Welcome, welcome. Please, join us for our evening meal.
Arthur, DW, and Dad sat down. Soon, spooky servants brought in the food. It was a big platter of spaghetti, and a bowl full of meatballs.
That looks like an eyeball.
Arthur looked closer. She was right. The meatballs did look like funny eyeballs.
They are quite tasty.
Surprisingly good.
Arthur tried some spaghetti. It was yummy. Even the eyeball meatballs tasted like regular meatballs. It was a very unusual dinner party. Everyone at the table was very friendly. Count Dadula told funny, spooky stories. Mr. Franken Ratburn mostly grunted and ate. Buster the werewolf howled when he laughed. Muffy the mummy carefully ate her spaghetti. She tried not to get sauce on her bandages. Francine the witch cackled at the jokes. After the very strange dinner was finished, Count Arthurla looked a little sad. He sighed a small vampire sigh.
I have a problem. Maybe you can help me with it?
Arthur liked helping his friends, even if this friend had fangs.
What's wrong?
DW listened carefully, curious too. She liked knowing about problems. Count Arthurla led them to another room. It was a music room filled with instruments. There was a giant, dusty pipe organ.
This is my favorite organ, but it doesn't play correctly anymore.
He pressed one of the keys. Instead of music, it made a funny squeak. Squeak honk. It was not a good sound.
A very important piece is missing. It's a special blue spring. The blue spring helps make the music. I think it might be up in the attic.
Arthur thought that sounded adventurous, but also a little bit spooky. Attics in old castles were probably very dark and full of cobwebs and old secrets.
Will you help me find it?
He looked at Arthur with hopeful eyes. His little fangs glinted in the candlelight.
Yes, we'll help. I'll help too. But attics are dusty. My princess tiara might get dirty.
Thank you both. The attic is this way. Follow me.
He led them towards a narrow staircase. It spiraled upwards into the darkness. Pal whined. He wanted to go too. The attic stairs were very creaky. Each step made a loud groan. Arthur held onto the railing tightly. DW walked very slowly behind him. It was much darker up here. Count Arthurla carried a single candle. Its light danced on the dusty walls. Finally, they reached a small wooden door.
Here we are, the attic of Castle Reed.
He pushed the door open. It was very stiff. Inside, the attic was enormous. It was filled with all sorts of old things. There were dusty boxes and covered furniture. Old paintings with spooky eyes stared down. And cobwebs were everywhere, like lace.
The blue spring should be in a small box. It's a very shiny, bright blue color.
They started to look around carefully. Arthur peeked under an old sheet.
Maybe it's in here.
They opened it. Inside were old toys, and right on top something gleamed. It was a small, bright blue spring.
You found it?
He was very happy indeed now. Arthur picked up the shiny blue spring. It felt cool and smooth in his hand. Mission accomplished. Or so they thought. Suddenly, Arthur felt the floorboards wobble. Rumble, rumble went the floor.
What's happening?
A section of the floor opened up. It turned into a long, dark slide. They found themselves in a large basement. It was not as dark as the attic. There were a few lanterns lit. A friendly-looking wolf was there. He wore overalls and carried a wrench.
Oh, hello. Did you enjoy the emergency exit slide?
Count Arthurla brushed hay off his cape.
Hello, Wolfgang. We found the blue spring.
Wolfgang the Wolf was a helpful sort. He was fixing a leaky pipe in the basement. Clank, clank went his wrench. Dad appeared at the top of the slide.
Are you all okay down there?
We're fine, Dad.
Dad carefully slid down to join them. He told Wolfgang about their flat tires.
Flat tires, you say? I can fix those.
It turned out Wolfgang was a great mechanic. He had all sorts of tools in the basement. He quickly went outside with Dad. In no time, the 2 flat tires were fixed. The storm had stopped too. The sun was starting to peek through the clouds.
Thank you so much.
And to Count Arthurula and everyone,
Our pleasure. Now you can have your picnic.
and so they did. They spread their blue blanket on the grass. It was right outside the spooky castle. Count Arthurula and his spooky friends joined. They all enjoyed sandwiches and juice.